With me now to discuss the state of the race as we're in the final stretch is Avis Jones-DeWeever, political and social commentator. Avis, good morning to you. Good to see you. So,
good morning. Good to see you too.
2 weeks to go until Election Day. What are both sides doing to drum up that last-minute support and get those votes from undecided?
Well, they are making their closing arguments in this moment. So you have the Harris campaign actually being very methodical. They are being very specific and strategic. They are weaving together what they see as a winning coalition, and that coalition includes all of America. It includes people across race, people across gender, people even across political party affiliations, which is why she was with yesterday, which is why she was with, the Republicans in terms of doing little town halls yesterday. Absolutely. And on the other hand, you have Donald Trump, who is out here sort of appealing to the lowest common denominator. I tell you, he really has a strategy of not weaving together a coalition. His strategy is all about being able to pull together his base and to get his base to show up and show out. And so what he's really trying to do is appeal, unfortunately, to those forces, I would say, of hate in America, and to get them to show up at the polls while we have a vice president who's trying to get all of America to show up to the polls. It's a very stark difference.
Where do you see Harris's weakness at this point in the race?
Her weakness really is it's a couple of things. One of the things that Trump has been doing is he has been really focusing on young men and young men across different racial categories. He's been really doing a lot of sort of underground, I guess you could say, podcasts and a lot of trying to expand his electorate by getting young men who may not have been motivated to vote in the past to vote now. So he's trying to expand the electorate in that way. What we have with the Harris campaign is trying to sort of drum up women's support, which they have, and expand the electorate with regards to excitement about her race. And we're seeing a lot of excitement specifically among Black women and women in general. Her weakness, though, is what is going to happen with these men, and are they going to show up in larger numbers than we're anticipating? The issue is that all of the polling that we're talking about is not taking into account people who have not voted in the past. So there are people that will be coming out to vote for Harris that are not showing up in the polls, just like there are people that have not perhaps in the past voted at all, who will be coming out to support Donald Trump. So although we like to look at these polls and kind of look at the race, the bottom line is we really will not know until all the votes are counted.
Right. And I wanted to ask you then about Trump's vulnerabilities. We are seeing a real coarsening of the language over the past couple of days. Is he doing well with women? Is that his weakness, his weak spot?
That is his weak spot, but he's not even trying. It's clear that he's not trying. He is appealing to hate. He is appealing to sort of the brosphere. He is appealing to people who want to literally bring America back to the 1700s. And I will speak with you very plainly. Nobody that looks like me wants to go back to the Americas of the 1700s. So let's just let that sink in for a minute. And what he's doing is he's appealing to fear. He's appealing to white fear and attempting to create a movement around that. His biggest weakness, though, is the fact that women writ large know that their rights are on the line and have been compromised because of his previous administration. And so he's seeing a huge gender gap around the number of women who are looking to vote, who have already voted early, and who do not want him back in office. That's one of his biggest threats, as well as the combination of people of color. We're seeing a level of energy, specifically, I would argue, in the Black community that we have not seen since the Obama years. And with Harris appealing to that energy and then even broadening it by bringing in the Cheneys of the world, by bringing in all of these Republicans who have traditionally only voted Republican, but know that they do not want a lawless dictator in office, making an appeal to them to vote for the Democrat, possibly for the first time in their lives. She's pulling together a coalition that this nation has never seen before. And so that's what he's fighting against. He's fighting against all of America, not just white, fearful America on his side. And so that, to me, is where he might have some difficulty just having the numbers that he's going to need in the various specific states in order to win that electoral college.
So my final question, I'm just about out of time, Avis, with you, is do you think, with the polls showing them so tight, including in the battleground states, do you think it all comes down to who can get out the vote?
That's it. That really is it. It's a turnout game at this point. And the bottom line is you have a Democratic Party who has been very specific around developing a turnout game. And so they have a strategy and they have tons of money behind it. They have far outraised Donald Trump in terms of money. However, on the other hand, Donald Trump always has a trick up his sleeve. You have an Elon Musk who's out here literally paying people to vote, okay? You have him up here with like $1 million ransoms for people to sign a so-called petition to get them to register and show up. So, you know, they're trying every trick in the book, on the other hand, not to mention the laws that they have passed to make it more difficult for people to vote. But the bottom line is you can't outdo the level of enthusiasm, I believe, that we are seeing behind a Harris campaign that is pulling together this unprecedented coalition. That, to me, is going to be the key. Are those people going to show up on Election Day? Are people going to vote across party lines? And are we going to see an overwhelming support among women and Black voters on November 5th? And I think it's going to happen.
2 weeks to go. Avis, good to see you today. Thanks so much. We're going to take it